this video, we are talking about capos, the different styles, the different kinds you can buy, and the pros and cons of each, and why I choose one over the other. So we're gonna start off very basic, go through all four of them, and then at the very end, I've got this Click ETI, which I haven't opened, from Page Capos, and I'm gonna give you literally my first impressions. This is a bit different than the other ones because it's gonna apply pressure to each individual string. But first, why do we use capo so much in bluegrass music to begin with? Well, there's a few simple explanations for this. Number one is that we need to be able to change the key of a song to make playing bluegrass licks easy, right? It's not a cheat, it's totally acceptable. But let's say, for example, that we are just using that G run for an example, right? That's in the key of G, hence the name G run. But what happens if, say, somebody wants to sing a song in like B flat, or if you come across a situation where you need to play the song in B flat? Well, all you have to do in this scenario, and I'll make a separate video on all placements in another time, is to just place your capo on the 3rd fret and play that G run, and then you're in the key of B flat, and all you've had to do is to put this on your guitar, all right? So this is a good starting point. Let's talk about this, the most basic sort of form of capo. There are several different styles. They're usually plastic, probably run you between, I don't know, $5 and $20, and I definitely don't recommend going basic on this, especially if you're playing bluegrass, and there's one or two main reasons why. Number one is that this is going to get in the way of your hand. As you sort of start learning more and more, it's just a clunky piece. It sticks out in the back, it's clunky in the front, and you're going to find that, you know, ideally you're not moving that far into capo territory, but as you're learning and your hands are going everywhere, that's going to be the case. And what's going to happen is that this is just going to make it all that much more difficult to learn on. The second reason here is that the idea behind a capo is to place tension on the neck, the strings on the neck, and that's going to give you a clean sound, all right? So this is just a simple machine, and basically unless your guitar is sort of shaped like that, or your guitar neck, odds are this is not going to be applying like equal pressure onto the neck of your guitar, and that's going to cause problems with like tunings and things like that. And if you perform regularly, or if you're in jams and stuff, you really want to reduce the amount of time you have to spend tuning the guitar, right? So that is the most basic one. This is an Alice brand, but there's so many that are going to produce a similar style of a capo. Honestly, if you're going this route, I'd probably just get it for like 50 cents off of Temu, something like that, because it's really not worth that much more than that. Okay, another reason why I don't recommend this capo is that it doesn't stay attached to the neck. But this actual capo has a very special place in my life, and that is in my car, where I keep my hand sanitizer and spare contact lens and things like that, because I'm always getting places, whether it's to a gig or to a practice or to a jam, and forgetting my capo. So this is like a rare time where it's actually out of the car. That's usually where it stays, and if I need it, if there's an emergency, I've always got a capo there. Okay, second style of capo I've got here is by a brand named Shub, okay? And this is very different than the one that I just showed you. And it's got this mechanism here that is going to do a better job at applying the equal amount of tension or pressure onto your strings. This one's got this rubber bit on it that moves around from time to time. But again, one of the big drawbacks of this capo here is that it doesn't stay attached to the neck. And furthermore, I would always go in the motions of losing this when I'm even on stage. Even if I brought it to a gig, I just have a bad habit of like putting it in my pocket, or hanging it on the mic stand, or putting it like on the table when I go to get a drink or something. And that's really, really annoying. So again, just a big drawback of this capo and a lot of other capos is that they don't stay attached to the neck. And it's really good just to be able to put the capo on the guitar, and then it literally never leaves. But that's where this next capo has the advantage. Okay, so this is a capo made by Page, and basically this is the one that I've been using in most of my videos over the past several months. And the big advantage here, amongst other things, but for me, is that this one just stays attached to the guitar. So it just clamps on, and then it's like, you set it and forget it. So if you need to move your capo wherever, at the end, if you go back to say a G position, you can move it up the neck, and then with a little bit of tightening, it's out of the way and it doesn't affect the sound of the guitar, even though it's up there. So you'll see right away on this capo, one of the big advantages, or how it's different, is that this mechanism here is going to add that equal pressure that we're looking for. The last one, the shub, will do that. Not so much the first one, but that is key there because we're trying to keep tension the same. When we don't, depending on the state of the guitar or sort of, the condition of the neck or what have you, there's just a lot of things that unequal pressure on a guitar neck using capo can impact, right? And so this diminishes that. It's got this mechanism, and like I said, it just goes on and then you just forget about it. And so this is the one that I've been using for quite a while. Links in the description to this one, and it's a great capo, no complaints about it at all. But I wanted to get to the next one. This is a Page Click ETI. And what's different about this capo is that it's got like different grooves for each individual string. So I'm gonna open this up and see how this stacks. Right away, this feels very well made, very sturdy. Yeah, you can move these little rivets here wherever you need them. I'm just gonna slap this on. Now, if you're interested in one of these, you definitely wanna go and measure out your nut. I think there's gonna be different variations depending on what style of guitar you've got. Okay, really liking this capo so far. I took a little bit of adjusting. I had to kind of get these rivets right over these strings. But yeah, I feel like this sounds a lot brighter, which would make a fair amount of sense because the other capo, you've got just like the one bar that's covering the 6 strings. Speaking of this one right here, whereas this one, it's all controllable with each string. And so stay tuned to the channel. Again, I'm trying to spread bluegrass music to a wider audience, and I'll give you a more detailed review at some point about this capo. But yeah, this sounds great, and you can tell this is like very sturdily made, if you will. The mechanisms, everything is just like made very rugged, and I'm really liking the look of it as well. I've also got links in the description to these capos. I use Sweetwater Music because they give you free shipping, and there's also a 2-year warranty for most products on their website. And I always say, I keep hitting the problem that I'm trying to get stuff from Guitar Center, but it's not in stock. And then it takes a few days for them to get it, and there's a whole mess, and I'd rather just get it online where it comes to me. And so Sweetwater solves that problem. Ask for David Warham, great customer service. Until next time, guys, we'll see you. Keep on picking.